This is the time of year when people generally start thinking about job hunting, and more so in education, where there's going to be a glut of newly qualified teachers looking for their first job, and quite often more experienced teachers are looking to move into their first leadership role. And as part of that recruitment process, they're often going to be asked to write a personal statement. So what is a personal statement? Well, it's been called many things. Sometimes it's a covering letter, sometimes it's called a supporting statement, sometimes it's part of an application form which you're required to fill in, and sometimes it's just the opening paragraph to a CV. But whatever it's called, it's your opportunity to be put in charge of the information that you're giving to the employer. It's your chance to really demonstrate to them that you've got the qualities that they're looking for and tell them what you've got to offer in this role. So when you come to actually write your personal statement, the things that you really need to be taking account of is, well, first of all, looking at the job description, looking at what they've actually asked for. So if they've asked for particular specific qualities from someone, like for example the ability to oversee a Duke of Edinburgh award or to take a lead on pastoral care or something like that, then you need to be reflecting in that personal statement that you've actually got the skills and abilities to do that. But it's also about thinking about the things which are a bit more than what's in the general CV or the general job application, and really demonstrating that you've got the specific qualities that they're looking for, and hopefully something just a little bit more, some little spark which is going to put you a cut above the rest of the job applicants. So when you come to actually write your personal statement, there's a number of things that you need to think about. The first is to remember not to duplicate information that you've given elsewhere. So don't make it a great list of qualifications and experience, because that's going to appear on your CV or your application form. The second is that it's a good idea to write a different personal statement for each job you apply for. That means that you can really target it against the person specification or the job specification and make sure you've got all the information in there that is relevant to demonstrate you've got what they're looking for. It's also quite a good idea to have something in there on your own personal goals and objectives, and to demonstrate how you think this job is going to help you achieve them. Because it's okay to show that you've got career aspirations. Increasingly, recruiters are looking for potential. They're not just looking for people who can do the job here and now with the right skills and experience, but they're also looking for people who can grow and develop in the job and to add more to it in the future. So when you actually come to write your personal statement, first of all, you need to think about what format it's going to take. Now, it might be as a first paragraph or an introduction to a CV, in which case you need to keep it quite short, sharp and snappy. So just bullet points really, and just trying to convey in a minimum number of words a few things which are going to demonstrate what you're particularly good at or what you can particularly deliver in terms of this job. If, as is more likely, it's in the form of a covering letter or as part of an application form where you've been asked to supply a supporting statement, then you've got a little bit more room. If it's the application form, then try not to fall into the trap of thinking that you've got to cover all the white space. Yes, that's fine, but cover it with appropriate information and not waffle. If it's a covering letter, then you've probably got a little bit more leeway of what you want to put in there. But it's always a good idea to write out some notes beforehand. So just a few bullet points, thinking about the points you want to make, having looked at that job specification or person specification, the things that are really going to demonstrate that you've got what the employer's looking for. Once you've done that, then you can start to put together a number of paragraphs. So you should start with some kind of introduction. I think I'm the right person for this job because this is what I can bring. Then making your comments, and then maybe finishing with some kind of conclusion. I really hope that that you will interview me and I can discuss this post further because I think it's an important career step for me, or some other reason, just demonstrating your personal commitment to this job and to the organisation. So some tips and tricks when you actually come to write your personal statement. First of all, remember that it's a marketing document and position it as such. It's not going to get you the job, but hopefully it will get you an interview. So things like spelling and grammar are particularly important. Do a spell check. Do get someone else to read it if possible, just to look at spelling, but also to look at how the sentences flow, to make sure that it's written in plain, easy to understand English, that there are no ambiguous points in there. The next thing to think about is the presentation. There's some really good software around which can help you to choose easy to read fonts and maybe put nice backgrounds on. Without getting too gimmicky, it's a good idea to present something that's easy on the eye and is going to keep people interested right up until the end. And on that, don't make it too long. We often say that a page is enough for a personal statement, but if you feel you've got a lot to get in, then you can run over perhaps to 2 pages, but certainly no more. And also to think about how the paragraphs flow together. Don't start each paragraph with I. Think about your phrasing. Try to make it interesting to read because recruiters will get bored before the end of the page if it's just a list of sentences starting with I've done this and I've done that. Finally, remember that the personal statement is a marketing document and you need to sell yourself in it. Yes, there's a fine line between marketing yourself well and overselling, and you do need to be honest. But as a general rule, if you don't tell employers what you can do or you don't tell them what you think you can achieve in the job, they're not going to find out any other way.